Welcome you all for Tumul online classes. So we have completed last chapter, system of particles and rotational motion. So then today onwards we are going to start the new chapter, that is part 2. So till now I told already. So part 1 all chapters, whatever the left chapters are there, so that all completed. Then in part 2, first chapter is mechanical properties of solids. Solids completed. Then we will go for mechanical properties of fluids. But remember one point, before starting this mechanical properties of fluids, once you have to go through, so mechanical properties of solids also, like Young's modulus, bulk modulus, rigidity modulus. You get some topics which are there in that chapter. Based on this, you will get some concept. Okay? So I think we will go through one that. Then we will start today concepts of mechanical properties of fluids. Okay? So what is first definition? We will start with the fluid mechanics. What is fluid mechanics? Fluid mechanics is the branch of physics, deals with the fluids which are in rest position and also which are in motion. This fluid mechanics is of again two sub branches are there. One is of fluid statics, and another is of fluid dynamics. Fluid statics is the branch of fluid mechanics which deals with the fluids which are at rest position. In this, we will discuss the fluids which are in rest position. So, what about fluid dynamics, sir? It is the branch of fluid mechanics which deals with the fluids which are in motion. So, this is the major difference between fluid dynamics and the fluid statics. So, what is the meaning of fluid? Fluid dynamics or fluid statics, okay, everything. Which one is called as fluid? Fluids means what? Those substances which can able to flow, they will come under the category fluids. Fluid does not mean only liquids. Whatever the substance which can flow, you take the air, so I can call it as fluid because it can able to flow. Similarly, water, it can able to flow. Which has a tendency, which has a property to flow, those are called as fluid. Regarding the fluids, to deal fluid mechanics. In this fluid mechanics, the fluids which are at rest are given by fluid statics. The fluids which are in motion given by fluid dynamics. So, if we deal with the only water which is at rest position, so that is also called as hydrostatics. What is hydrostatics? Generally in some books, instead of this fluid statics, they will give hydrostatics. Hydrostatics deals with the fluids which are water also fluid anyhow. So that's why the water which is at rest, that is called as hydrostatics. So in first part we will discuss regarding fluids which are at rest position. Then after completion of this, we will discuss regarding fluids which are in motion. Okay. So then let me know some basic properties of fluids. Fluid properties. What are the basic properties of fluid? First I will define. So what is the meaning of fluid pressure? Pressure of a fluid means what? Pressure of a fluid. So what is the meaning of pressure? Pressure of a fluid at a point inside the fluid. So fluid will exert some pressure. What is the meaning of pressure? How much force exerted per unit area? That force acting per unit area. That is will gives us pressure. Okay now? So generally what happens? You take whatever the fluids. That fluid consists of molecules. Now I consider for example a container. Container is filled with some gas. Gas is nothing but molecules are there. Then what happens? The molecules are continuously hitting with each other, colliding with each other, and also collide with the walls of the container. When they colliding, they will exert a force. How much force acting per unit area? But how this force is acting? Normally. If I consider this is a cross section, force is acting normal to the cross section. That force acting per unit area normally will gives us what pressure. If that force acting, if area will be more, force will be less, pressure will be less. If area is less, pressure will be more. So pressure value depends upon area of contact. Are you getting that? This is I told one example. So that is the definition of what pressure. Pressure is a scalar quantity which has only magnitude, no direction. Why? Because always the direction of force will be normal to the container. That's why it is a scalar quantity. And what about the SI unit of pressure is given by, pressure SI units are given by Newton by meter square. This Newton by meter square is also called as Pascal. Scientists think. Whereas CGS units of pressure given by, so CGS unit of force is dyne by centimeter square. Okay, so these are the units. Then thereafter, pressure will be measured by using a barometer. Generally, 1 atmosphere pressure is nothing but 1 atm. atm stands for atmosphere pressure. 1 atmosphere pressure value will be equal to 1.013 into 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. This value you have to remember this, which can be also written as 1.013 bar. So what is bar means here? 1 bar value will be equal to 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. So this is for pressure, fluid pressure. Okay. So after completion of the pressure, the next property we will discuss regarding density. What is fluid density? We'll start from here. So after completion of the pressure, so let me know regarding the fluid density. So what is the meaning of density? Density is the one of the macroscopic properties of two types, microscopic or macroscopic. Large scale properties are called as microscopic, small scale properties are called as microscopic. So density is the one of the microscopic property of the fluid. So density of a fluid will be defined as, so how much mass of the fluid divided by volume. So mass by volume will give us density. Everyone know well regarding the density. So density of a fluid can be represented either with rho or d. So density can be written as mass divided by volume. So this is the density of the fluid. So this density also which quantity? Scalar quantity, having only magnitude, no direction, whose SI units are given by kilogram by meter cube, and whose CGS units are given by gram by centimeter cube, gram divided by centimeter. Conversion needed sometimes. Sometimes you need to convert kilogram to gram and gram to kilogram. The conversion can be done. Okay, this is, and very important regarding this density. So density is a macroscopic property which will tell us regarding inertia of a fluid. What is the meaning of inertia? The inability of the fluid to change in its state of rest or state of motion or state of direction. That is called what? Fluid inertia. That fluid inertia will be determined by density. Whenever the density of the fluid is more, inertia more, that fluid cannot able to move easily. To make that fluid to flow, we need to apply more force. Whenever the density value less, then that time what happen? The fluid can flow easily because inertia less. You take the example of water and air. Which one can easily flow? Air, because of less density. Which one cannot easily flow? Water, because of more density. So density is the measurement of which one now? Inertia of the fluid. Okay? Inertia of fluid will be decided by density. So when I take in the fluid, one container, so I have mixed immiscible liquids are there. Different types of liquids are there. When I mix up them all, are you getting that? The container I have taken, in that container I have mixed with several fluids which are not mixable, mixable fluids I take. In that what are the those fluids? For example, this is one part. This is one part. Here I will show like this, and this is another type of liquid. This liquid density rho 1. This one will be rho 2. This one will be rho 3. When different types of liquids are mixed, which are not mixable, which are immiscible, then so liquid whose liquid density is more, it will go to bottom. Sorry. Then whose density is less, it will be at the top. Are you getting up? So it is the inertia, it is the measure of inertia of the fluid, and this is regarding the density of mixture. Okay, the next one is, let me see the density of the mixture of fluids. How can we calculate the density of the mixture of fluids? Density of the mixture. mixture of fluids. So I am taken two fluids of masses and first point. In this first one, two fluids of masses m1 and m2. Densities ρ1 and ρ2 are mixed. Two fluids are there. One mass is m1, other mass is m2. One density ρ1, other density ρ2. Both are mixed. Now I want to calculate what is the density of the mixture. Can I call the density of the mixture is rho mix? Density formula total mass divided by total volume. Here volume not given. So mass total mass m1 plus m2. Total volume of v1 plus v2. V1 can be written as, so their density is equal to mass by volume. Volume is equal to mass divided by density. So can I write v1 plus v2? But v1 v2 values are not given. Then what can I write? Rho mix. Rho mix value is equal to m1 plus m2 divided by, so v1 can be written as m1 by ρ1. m1 by ρ1. v2 can be written as m2 by ρ2. Clear? Is it okay? Then which can be also written as rho mix value is equal to how much? Is equal to m1 plus m2, m1 plus m2 into what I get? Into, here LCM is ρ1 into ρ2. ρ1 ρ2 will go to numerator. ρ1 into ρ2 divided by ρ1 plus ρ2. Correct? ρ1 plus ρ2. This is the formula to calculate the density of the mixture of fluids. When two fluids of different density and masses are given, how to calculate the density? If m1 value is equal to m2, m1 value is equal to m2, that time what I will get? Rho mix value. Rho mix value will be equal to, when m1 value is equal to m2, then what I will get? Numerator and the denominator. Sorry, here what should I write? So LCM I have to take ρ1 into ρ2. When LCM is ρ1 into ρ2, what I will get? So m1 into ρ2 plus m2 into ρ1. Okay na? When m1 value is equal to m2, then what I will get? Numerator will get m1 plus m1, m plus m, 2m by m common. Then I will get answer ρ2 into ρ1 into ρ2 divided by ρ1 plus ρ2. This is called as harmonic mean of density of the two fluids. So the density of the mixture of the fluid will be equal to the harmonic mean of individual fluids when so two fluids of same masses. If two fluids of same masses but density ρ1 and ρ2 are mixed with each other, so what is the formula to calculate the density of the mixture of fluid? That is given by 2 into ρ1 into ρ2 by ρ1 plus ρ2. Understood? But remember, it is not compulsory every time. Only two fluids can be added. We can add more number of fluids also. When number of fluids are given more, so what is the formula I can write? Rho mix can be written as, so this is the general formula I can write. So which can be written as sigma mi divided by sigma mi by rho I, where I value starting from 1 to n. Then if there are n number of fluids are there, masses m1, m2, m3, so and so m1, densities ρ1, ρ2, ρ3, so and so ρ1 are mixed. What is the formula for density of the mixture given by density of the mixture given by sigma mi? That is total mass of all the fluids by so this is the sum of mi by rho I. That is m1 by ρ1 plus m2 by ρ2 plus m3 by ρ3 plus so and so m1 by ρ1. So this is the formula to calculate the density of the number of fluids are mixed. How to calculate the density? Question understood now? So this is density of mixture of fluids. But whenever they have given masses and densities, sometimes if they given volume and density, how to calculate the density of mixture of gases? Let me know second case. So what is this second case is given by two fluids are there, volume V1 and V2, densities ρ1 and ρ2 are mixed. Now I want to calculate density of the mixture. What is the density of mixture given by general formula m by v. Total mass value m1 plus m2. Total volume value v1 plus v2. But m1 value, m2 value not given. m1 can be written as m1 value is equal to so v1 by ρ1. Correct? Density is equal to mass by volume. Mass is equal to density into volume. So what can I write? ρ1 into v1. Similarly, what is m2? rho 2 into V. Then what will get the answer of rho mix? Rho mix value is equal to how much? M1 plus M2. M1 in place of M1 what can I write? Rho 1 into V1 plus rho 2 into V2 divided by so V1 plus V2. Understood? This is the formula to calculate what density of the mixture of fluids. So when fluids of densities rho 1 and rho 2 and masses M1 and M2 and volumes V1 and V2 are added, the density of the mixture of gases is given by this formula. Okay na? V1 plus V2. Then if V1 value is equal to V2, volumes are same. That time what will get the formula for rho mix? Rho mix value will be given by so rho 1 plus rho 2 divided by 2. This is called as harmonic mean or arithmetic mean? Arithmetic mean. Last time we got a harmonic mean. Now we are getting arithmetic mean. So density of the mixture of fluid will be equal to arithmetic mean of density of individual fluids. If the fluids of same volume V1 and V2 of densities rho 1 and rho 2 are mixed, the density of the mixture given by so rho 1 plus rho 2 by 2. This formula when we can apply when V1 value is equal to V2. Clear? For example, if there are many number of fluids are added, that time what is the formula for rho mix? Rho mix formula given by general formula here. Here what can I write? Sigma rho I into V. That is sum of product of density and volume. Rho 1 V1 plus rho 2 V2 plus rho 3 V3 like so on. By sigma which value? Sigma V. So this is the formula for to calculate the density of mixture of fluids. Understood? So in this way we can able to measure density. Okay? Density when they given masses density we can calculate mixture density. When they given volume and density we can calculate density of the mixture. So next point we will discuss how this density varies with the temperature and how this density varies with the pressure. Variation of density with the temperature first we will discuss. Which one? Variation of density of a fluid, or simply I will write density with the temperature. For the fluids, how this density varies with the temperature. Generally we know with increasing the temperature what happened to the volume? Volume value will be increases. Expand any gases or liquids with increasing temperature except water. Water has a particular property that we will discuss later. Most of all the gases are liquids. With increasing the temperature, what happened to volume? Increase. What is density written? Density is equal to mass by volume. Whenever temperature increases, mass value will not change. So mass value remains constant. Density inversely proportional to volume. When if m is constant, mass constant, then we can write density inversely proportional to volume. Okay now? Whenever the temperature value increase, T stands for temperature, arrow upwards, increase. So what happened to the volume? Increase. Mass volume remains constant. Obviously what happened to density? So whenever any fluid temperature increases means what happened to density? Decreases. How this density varies? The variation of density. Actually here we will get one topic. So that is we will get that is in thermal properties of matter. There are three types of expansions will be there. So that is linear expansion, areal expansion and volume expansion. Liquids will have only volume expansion. Solids will have so linear, area and volume. For liquids only volume expansion. This will give us how does the volume value change. There is one equation in there. So volume value increases with temperature according to the relation. V is equal to V naught into 1 plus gamma into delta T. This will get in the next chapter. That is thermal properties of matter. V is the volume at a temperature T degrees. V naught is the volume at a temperature 0 degrees. Gamma is the coefficient of volume expansion. Delta T is the rise in temperature. What is the formula for V? V is equal to V naught into 1 plus gamma into delta T. Okay, now already in object you studied. So increase in the volume directly proportional to initial volume, increase in the volume directly proportional to rise in temperature. That will be V is equal to V naught into 1 plus gamma into delta. So in place of V, what can I write? V is equal to mass by density. Can I write that? So M by rho will be equal to M by rho naught into 1 plus gamma into delta. Correct? What I did? In place of V I written mass by density. In place of I written M by rho naught. Where rho is the density at T degrees, rho naught is the density at 0 degrees. Mass value same, mm cancel. Then what I get? Can I send this rho naught this side? Rho naught is equal to rho into 1 plus gamma into delta. Correct? What is rho naught? Density at 0 degrees. What is rho? Density at T degrees. Then rho naught is equal to rho into 1 plus gamma into delta. Otherwise, rho is equal to rho naught divided by 1 plus gamma into delta. So then rho is equal to rho naught into, so this is 1 plus gamma into delta T whole power minus 1. By applying the binomial expansion. What is binomial expansion? So 1 plus x whole power n is equal to 1 plus n into x. If n x value less than 1, that is according to binomial expansion. As per that binomial expansion, here what I get? Rho is equal to rho naught into 1 minus gamma into delta. Okay, now even this topic will get in next chapter also. That is in mechanical properties of thermal properties of matter. This equation you want. Rho is equal to rho naught into 1 minus gamma into delta T will represent how does density changes with the temperature. Variation of density with the temperature given by rho is equal to rho naught into 1 plus gamma into delta T. Understood? So next, variation of density with the pressure. Variation of density with pressure. So here also, how does density changes with the pressure? To know this, let us see density mass by volume. When mass constant, density inversely proportional to volume. Here with pressure, so according to Boyle's law, you know, at a constant temperature, pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Correct? When temperature is constant, when volume increase, pressure decrease. Okay, when pressure increase, what happened to volume? Here arrow mark will decrease. But volume or density both are inversely proportional. So what happened to density? Will increase. Understood? Whenever the pressure increases, what happened to density? Will be increases. Let us see one equation. How pressure, change in pressure will affect the density. Generally we know bulk modulus. Bulk modulus we studied in mechanical properties of solids. What is bulk modulus symbol? K or B. Bulk modulus is the volume stress by volume strain, which is delta P by delta V by V. From this, what is delta V by V value? Delta V by V is equal to delta P by Q, where delta P will gives us change in pressure. K is the bulk modulus. What will get delta V value is equal to V into delta P by Q. So I will get the formula for V is equal to, so delta V value V is equal to V naught into 1 plus delta P by K. This is the equation which will represent how does the variation of volume with the pressure. V value is equal to V naught into how much? V value is equal to V naught into 1 plus delta P divided by K value. Here we will get minus. Why it is minus means here we will get minus. Why minus indicates whenever volume and the pressure both are inversely proportional. When volume increase, pressure decrease. When volume decrease, pressure value increase. So this is the equation which will represent how volume value changes with the pressure, where K is the bulk modulus. Can I write again volume is equal to M by rho? M by rho is equal to M by rho naught into how much? 1 minus delta P by Q. So from this MM cancel. So what I'll get rho naught value? Rho naught is equal to rho into 1 minus delta P by T. Correct? Now I want which value? Rho 1. What I'll get rho value? Rho is equal to rho naught divided by 1 minus delta P by T. Then can I apply? So again rho value is equal to rho naught into 1 minus delta P by K whole power minus 1, which can be written as rho is equal to rho naught into binomial expression 1 plus delta P by K. So this is the equation which will represent the how does pressure value, density value changes with the pressure. Rho is equal to, what is rho here? Density at a temperature T degrees, and what is rho naught? Density at a temperature 0 degrees, or initial density and the final density. So rho is equal to rho naught into 1 plus delta P by K. And this is what we discussed regarding till up to properties, pressure and density. So next we will see what is our next discussion is Pascal's law. So what is Pascal's law? If I consider a closed container, unclosed fluid, enclosed fluid, container is there, it is fitted with some piston there. Inside one fluid is there. According to the Pascal's law, any excess pressure transferred to a fluid, enclosed fluid, that excess pressure transfer equally in all directions and also to the walls of the container. What is this law? It tells us, if you exert, now what I did, initially there is some pressure will be there inside the container. Now when I push this piston inwards, I am increasing the pressure here. That increase in the pressure is not isolated to one particular place. That pressure will be transferred equally. It will not go. That increase in the pressure will not go only in one direction. It will go in all directions equally. And also the pressure, the molecules will collide with the walls of the container with more force. That's why the pressure will be transmitted to walls of the container also. As per this Archimedes principle, in a enclosed fluid, at each and every point pressure will be seen. That is, F1 by A1 value is equal to F2 by A2 is equal to so and so F1 by E. Like that I can write. So pressure transferred to a closed fluid will be transferred equally in all directions. That law is called as Pascal's law. Pascal's law, we have many applications are there. One is of hydraulic lifter, hydraulic brakes, and that is also applicable based on this this Pascal's law. Can you remember hydraulic lifter? Just I will go on. Hydraulic lifter. In this hydraulic lifter, what will be there? One U-shaped tube will be there. Container will be there. Of different, will have here one. Here area of cross section will be given by A1. Here area of cross section given by A2. Such that A2 value will be greater than A1. Hydraulic lift. When you go for servicing centers of cars, there if you want to water wash, so they will lift the car by using this hydraulic lift. Here what will be there? The vehicle which is needed to lift will put here. Okay na? Sorry, here they will put this vehicle. Now here they will apply some load. They will apply some force F1. So now it is filled with some fluid, air, like this, some fluid will be there. When you apply your force, what happens? So you are increasing the pressure. The pressure will be transferred equally to each and every part. That pressure will be transferred to the upper part. What is the pressure acting on? Here is given by P value is given by F1 by A1. And what about the pressure acting here is given by P value given by F2 by A2. But you know that. So from this what happened to F2 value? F2 value is equal to P into A2. And what is F1 value? F1 value is equal to P into A1. As A2 value greater than which one? A1. So what happened to F2 will be greater than which one? F1. By putting less effort, you can lift the more load. That is by using a hydraulic lift. Hydraulic lift also one of the application of which one? Pascal's law. Like hydraulic brakes also will be based on which law? Pascal's law. What happened? What is the conclusion of the Pascal's law? If any excess pressure given to a fluid which is at rest in an enclosed fluid, then that pressure will be transferred equally in all directions. Okay, so that is called as Pascal's law. After completion of the Pascal's law, the next we will discuss regarding Archimedes principle. So, what is Archimedes principle? Archimedes principle. What is Archimedes principle? Have you ever observed whenever a body partially or completely immersed in a liquid or water, the weight of the body will appear to be decreased? Can you remember? Have you observed whenever a body partially or completely immersed in a liquid or water, the weight of the body appear to be decreased? So why it is decreased? Because of the, so what is the conclusion here is, now I consider one container now. Container is filled with some fluid. Now what I did, a block is taken. The block was immersed inside the liquid. When block was immersed, when you are putting the block inside the liquid, initially here what is there? This is our container. Initially the total space is occupied by liquid molecules. Because of the putting the block, what happened? The liquid molecules are displaced. The displaced liquid molecules, what they will do? They will exert a force on this block. In what direction? In all direction. But remember, those molecules which are there on the right side and left side, force applied will be equal and upward. Whereas the molecules at the bottom is more compared with the top. That's why the bottom molecules will exert force in vertically upward direction. Due to the force exerted by the bottom molecules are more compared with the top. Due to that reason, a net upward force will act on the block. That net upward force name only called as buoyant force. That phenomenon name is called as buoyancy. Whenever a body partially or completely immersed inside a liquid, the net upward force will act on the body. Due to that, the weight of the body, there is a loss of weight of the body. That loss of weight of the body is exactly equal to the weight of the displaced liquid. So what is the statement of Archimedes principle? Whenever a body partially or completely immersed in a liquid, there is a loss of weight of the body. That loss of weight will be equal to what? Weight of the displaced liquid, or it is also equal to pressure of the liquid at that point. This is called as Archimedes principle. What is the net upward force? Name is called as a buoyant force. So buoyant force. What is buoyant force? The net upward force acting on the body which is partially or completely immersed. So that net upward force is called as what? Buoyant force, whose magnitude is given by Vb is equal to Fb will be equal to V into rho L into G. So I am writing directly. This net upward force value nothing but a pressure at that point. So what is the formula for pressure at that point? Pressure is nothing but force by area. Then force can be written as what? Pressure into area. Correct? Pressure into which one? Area. By using this relation we can derive it. So net upward force value is equal to V into rho L into G. What is rho L there? Density of the liquid. G is the acceleration due to gravity. And V is the, so what is V there? So V is the volume. Volume of the body which is immersed inside the liquid. This force name is called as what? Buoyant force. Okay, now here we will write pressure in terms of, we will write in terms of density. After that we will. So this is the expression for what? Buoyant force. Or this force name is called as what? Buoyancy force. Force of buoyancy or buoyant force. This buoyant force value does not depend upon shape of the body, size of the body and nature of the body. It depends only on the volume of the body. It depends upon the density of the liquid in which the body immersed, and it depends upon the acceleration due to gravity. Actually, according to Archimedes, he has told the net effort force acting on a body will be equal to weight of the displaced liquid. Weight formula: mass of the liquid into acceleration due to gravity. Mass can be written as volume into density into rho L into G. So that's why we get Fb value is equal to V into rho L into G. Correct? So V into this one, rho L into G. So now, what is the apparent weight of the body which is immersed in a liquid? Apparent weight. Whenever a body partially or completely immersed, the weight of the body appears to be decreased. How can I calculate that apparent weight value? So WA value. That apparent weight value will be equal to true weight of the body, real weight of the body minus weight of the displaced liquid. Are you getting around? Whenever a body partially or completely immersed in a liquid, the weight of the body appears to be decreased. That apparent weight of the body will be given by real weight of the body minus weight of the displaced liquid. What is the real weight of the body given by capital M into G minus weight of the displaced liquid value ml into G. Capital M value given by V into rho into G minus ml value given by V into rho L into G. Can you take the common of V into rho into G? Then what I get? 1 minus rho L by rho, which can be also written as V into rho nothing but m into G into 1 minus rho L by which one? Rho. So this is the weight of the body or apparent weight of a body. Apparent weight of a body. Whenever a body partially or completely immersed in a fluid, so what is the weight of the body given by m into G into 1 minus rho L by rho. Are you getting it? This is apparent weight expression. So when a body immersed, for a body in a fluid, what are the forces acting on the body? Now I consider a body, container is there, here is there fluid, one body immersed inside that fluid. What are the forces acting on the body? Forces acting on the body are given by two forces. First, weight of the body. So weight of the body will be given by mg. What is the direction of weight acting? Vertically downwards. And one more force is, because of the displaced molecules, force acting on the body in vertically upward direction. That is buoyant force. Buoyant force. This buoyant force will act through center of gravity of the liquid molecules which are displaced in vertically upward direction. The buoyant force will act in what direction? Vertically upwards. Through center of gravity, the total weight of the molecules appear to be acting from one particular point. That point name is called as center of gravity. Through the center of gravity in vertically upward direction. So these are the two forces acting on a body which is partially or completely immersed in a liquid. Okay now, actually here we will come to know, so laws of flotations. What are the laws of flotations? When body will float or when body cannot able to float. This principle, the Archimedes principle, this concept is very important for us. So here what are the forces acting on a body which is partially or completely immersed, weight of the body and buoyant force. Anyhow we calculated the buoyant force value, Fb value will be given by weight of the displaced liquid will be given by V into rho L into G. This is whenever the total volume of the body inside the liquid, then buoyant force value V into rho L into G. Now we'll see what are the laws of flotations. Laws of flotation. So what is these laws of flotations? First condition, whenever the weight of the body is more than buoyant force. What does it mean? Force acting in vertically downward direction is more than what happens? Force acting in vertically upward direction. Then that time what happens? The body will completely sink, reaches to the bottom without floating. When I put one body whose density value, so whose weight value more than the buoyant force. Actually weight can be written as m into g is greater than, so mg. mg can be written as v into rho into g greater than v into rho L into g. So v value, g value cancel. Then what happened to rho? Rho value greater than rho L. whenever a body of density rho immersed in a liquid of density rho L, if rho value greater than rho L, that time what happened to the body? The body will reaches to, body will sink completely. Body will sink completely inside where? So inside the liquid will not flow. To take the example of stone, you put a stone, heavy stone in water. So what happened to the stone? Will reaches to the bottom. Does the stone will float or will not float or will not float? Because here rho value greater than what the rho L. That is the first condition. The second condition, if rho value is equal to rho L, rho value equal to rho L means density of the body and density of the liquid both are same. That time what happens? The body will float by sinking completely. So total body will sink inside the liquid drum. The free surface of the body will be exactly at the surface of the liquid. The body will completely sink. This is our body. It will sink completely, but float. The body will float by sinking completely. Whenever the density of the body is exactly equal to density of the liquid. Understood? And what about the third possibility? So third possibility is very important for us. What is this third possibility given by? Whenever density of the body is less than density of the liquid. If rho value less than rho L. When rho value less than rho L means weight of the body is less than buoyant force. That time what happened to the body? The body will float. It will not sink. By how? The total body cannot be inside the liquid. How body will float? Body will float by submerging partially. Here the body will submerge completely, will not float. Here body will submerge completely, but will float. Here body will float, but partially submerged. Are you getting it? So in this case what happens? The buoyant force acting on a body will be equal to the weight of the liquid which is there inside the, or here what are the conditions are there. So why body, when body can able to float means the weight of the body will be balanced by buoyant force. So this time weight of the body given by V into rho into G, given by V in into rho into G, rho L into G. Why here written V in means here total volume of the body not inside the liquid. How much volume is there inside? V in. V in into rho into G. For the body to float condition is this one only. Weight should be balanced by which one? Buoyant force. Even here also. When rho value greater than rho L, what does it imply? So weight values are same. W value will be equal to Fb. Then only rho value will become rho L. Here W value less than Fb. Then W should be equal to Fb. What is Fb means? Fb is the buoyant force acting on the body only on which volume is there inside the fluid. Are you getting that? So W should be equal to Fb. So W value is equal to V into rho into G is equal to V into rho L into G. So then here which value cancel? G value cancel. What is the fraction of volume inside the fluid? The fraction of volume inside the fluid given by V in by V. That V in by V value will be equal to how much? Rho divided by rho L. Okay na? This is the fraction of volume of the body which is there inside the fluid. But when it is possible, whenever the density of the body less than the density of the liquid, that time what happened to the body? The body will float by submerging it partially. That time, what is the fraction of volume inside the liquid to calculate? V in by V will be equal to rho divided by how much? Rho L. Are you getting it? This topic from Archimedes principle. So you should listen carefully, and very number of applications will get based on this Archimedes principle only. And one more is, if I want to calculate how much volume is there outside, to calculate the volume of the body which is there outside, so total volume of the body minus volume inside. Can I calculate that? What I want to calculate? How much volume of the body is there outside the fluid? So that can be given by total volume minus volume which is there inside. The total volume minus V minus. So what is V in value? V in value we have written already. So V in value is equal to there V minus V into N value. So V in value there I will write in terms of V in by V. V minus V in will give you V out. the volume which is there outside. Okay now? So what I will get the value of V minus V in, how I will get the value of V minus V in, here I got which value? V in divided by V value. Then by using that formula, so we can find out the value of which one now? V minus V in. So what is the value of V in, here I will write, which is equal to V minus V in value is equal to V into rho divided by rho. Correct? From this what I will get? V value common, so 1 minus rho by rho. This is the formula to calculate how much volume is there outside. What is the fraction of volume outside can be calculated? Fraction of volume outside can be calculated by V outside divided by V. That V outside divided by V value given by 1 minus rho divided by rho. This is how much fraction of volume is there outside. So these are the laws of flotation, 3 laws. First law is for to sink completely without floating. Second law one, sink completely by floating. Third law for the float up but without sink completely. So these are the laws of flotations based on the Archimedes principle. Then we have applications of this Archimedes principle that will continue in the next class. Okay, now? Thank you.